Pivot points. Let's talk about it today in Car Chats with Robert. Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trading Academy. Today I want to talk to you about pivot points. I'm not going to go into huge detail on it. It's just that they became relevant in the setup from last night and the results from the trade, so I thought it appropriate to point them out. But pivots are areas of reversal in the market. It's a formula based on the high and the low of the previous day. And it is marked by an indicator. We use the pivot point standard, which is very easy to use. We have adjusted settings to it to accommodate our style of trading. But it's pretty effective. It's pretty effective. And what you're going to find with pivots is that if price leaves a pivot, if it rebounds from one pivot, if there is no structure in between to keep it from going to the next one, price will go to the next pivot point. And again, when we refer to pivot points, we're talking about also the resistance and the support lines that go with it. And I'm going to talk about it here in the video I'm going to share with you in just a second. Before I go into the trade setup from last night, I want to point out this beautiful shirt that I just received from this website called Wellesley, something like that. I'll point it out here in just a minute. Wellesley. I love it. The quality is fantastic. The print is really good. I don't think this will fade, but we're gonna find out here when I start cleaning it. But anyway, I thought it was pretty nice, so I thought you guys would want to know about it. And this is the site. Hold on, let me see. This is the site right here, wellesley.com, and you can see they got plenty of nice forex shirts, trading shirts. These are really cool. Some of these are really nice. Some of them not so nice, but pretty good. They see me trading, they be hating. This is great. I thought you might like it. So this is the setup as we had it last night. Again, another flag pattern, pennant pattern in this case with GBP USD. That's indicative of the trend continuing to the downside. That's what we're expecting is going to happen. And we're just watching it. This was actually sent earlier in the evening. I think this was maybe even 5 p.m. when I sent this out to the team just to take a look at it. And then in the evening, I went ahead and finished the setup um, for the evening setup, the one I always send for the London. And in this case, it was GBP USD. Let's look at the results. So these are the results from last night. As you can tell, it broke. I changed this to the 1 hour so it'd be easier to see. It broke right through. It rejected at that top line right there. Okay, and it broke right through the trend line, right through the pennant, and it dropped for 51 pips from there. Then it bounced practically at the S1 pivot point, and from there it jumped all the way to the other pivot point for 34 pips above the line of resistance. I mean, obviously, that's a whole lot more pips. What is that? 85 pips. That's 85 pips from pivot point to pivot point. And what I wanted to speak about again, I don't think I've ever shared about the pivot points, but again, it's a formula based on the high and the low of the day, and it gives you potential areas of resistance and support. S1 stands for support one, the P is for the pivot, and then above is R1 for resistance one. And once it bounced from the S1 area, which by the way coincides with, let me see, coincides with a demand area previously on GBP USD from I think July 20th. I believe that's when it was. From July 20th, there's a supply area there. I mean, demand area there. It jumped from there. I was expecting it. I actually took the sales here. Let me see. I took the sell and I took the retest of the bottom zone, which is not presented here for again not privacy reasons, but again information that I share only with the team. And then as it kept resisting going down, I went ahead and closed it. It was all wins last night, which was kind of nice. But then I'm watching this as it's going up, and it's 4 o'clock. I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning as this is going up, and I'm thinking, oh shoot, I could take this going up for another win if I wanted to, because it was clear that I had rejected the bottom. And again, it's likely to go to the next pivot. If you see, by the way, next to this white line that you see is the pivot point from the day before, and you can see how price halted right there. It stopped right there before it resumed going back up. Again, it goes from pivot point to pivot point. Once it crossed that pivot point to the left, it went ahead and went to the next one. And from within the same day, that's an 85 pip difference. That's a nice win. The team did well with that. And here are the numbers from last night. And again, it was really easy. It really was. I mean, it took a while on the retest to finally drop enough. I saw it hesitating, so I was taking quick profits. Basically, I scalped my way down to the profit that you see there, 307. Because again, GBP USD tends to be choppy as it is anyway, and it kept resisting going down. So since I knew that I wasn't going to get continuation, basically every time I got a retracement, I went ahead and entered a sell and took several times to get to my number, but I got it. And then once I got those sales, I went ahead and closed it. As I mentioned before, I saw it going back up for the buy, which I told the team, I'm expecting a rebound from here. And sure enough, it rebounded for those 85 pips going up. But again, once you reach your goal, shut it down. And that's what I did. Once I reached my goal, I shut it down. I wanted to take that. I wanted to take that buy, but it was just not worth the aggravation if it did reject at the zone and come back down. So anyway, I closed it up.
Welcome back, guys. So as you can tell, and it happened last night, but this happens almost every night, guys. Once it breaks a pivot point, it wants to go to the next one. All right. If it rebounds from a pivot point, it wants to go to the next one. And unless you have major structure blocking your way, it is going to do that with a very high level of frequency, 85, 90%. I don't know. It's very high. Okay. So you can gauge your momentum, and you can also hold your trade perhaps a little longer once you see how it breaks a pivot point and then it heads on to the next one. I don't usually keep my pivot points open when I'm trading unless I'm already in a trade and I want to see where it is headed and where it may reverse. And in my case, as I noticed how it kept resisting going down to the S1. It did it 3 times. It went down once, went down twice, went down 3 times. I realized it's not going to break it. So I went ahead and took my profit and watched it as it went back up, and I just let it be. Again, when it comes to risk management, guys, once you have reached your goal for the night, close it. There is such a thing as decision fatigue, and once you've been sitting there for too long, you're going to start making mistakes. In my case, I know that after a couple hours of sitting there, my mindset starts wavering. Okay, I don't know if I'm tired, fatigued, or what it is, but I'm not doing as sharp as in the beginning. So I try to time my entries, and that's another reason why I'm waiting longer for the London Open, so that I can use the momentum of the London Open and not have to sit there for very long. Again, this is Robert Rivera with Rivera Trading Group in association with Trading Academy, and I hope that you're receiving value from what you're seeing. And if so, please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.